Welcome to THC Design Sessions. I'm Amanda Savage, comedian and proud member of the THC Design team. Today, we've got a 420 special with our guest, Christina Wong.
Hey!
And we have a friend of THC Designs here, Sabrina Kurth.
Excited to be here.
Tell us what you do at THC Design.
I am the senior project coordinator, so I do a lot of the marketing. Yeah.
Love it. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Sabrina's the coolest.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. I'm excited to have everybody here together, the girlies for 420.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Christina is a cannabis food, drink, and travel writer and self-proclaimed baked baker. Can you wink for me like that? Baked baker, based here in Los Angeles. She's the founder of Fruit and Flower Company, a creative studio and platform at the intersection of food, cannabis, and culture. She also co-hosts Mogu Magu, an AAPI food, culture, and cannabis collective, and she's judged on the Emerald Cup, the California Cannabis Awards, and the MJ Bowl. Yeah. Welcome, Christina.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Yay!
Yeah, 420 episode.
Let's go. 420 blaze it.
What
Am
a
I
beautiful
right?
celebration of the feminine plant.
Yes. The plant is female, just so you guys know. Okay, I have to start here. I read all about your rage cake. Tell me where that started.
Oh boy. So the rage cake started 7 years ago, actually, with a jar of THC Design XJ13. Yeah. Yeah.
You were raging with XJ13? That's a perfect strain to rage with.
Well, the whole inspiration of the story started with the XJ13 because somebody asked me to make an infused birthday cake for her, and her favorite strain was XJ13. So I went out looking for it, and the THC Design was the one that I found. And as I was making this beautiful cake, I was also going through a really horrible breakup at the time. And the rage cake and the earrings that followed as part of the inspiration was really about me like processing this awful breakup and rage and just like the deepest, darkest, most horrible emotions, and using cannabis to transmute that and transform my anger and my rage and just get a hold of my own emotions and turn it into something productive. So rather than taking it out on a person that when it was my own internalized emotions, I mean, yeah, it was kind of caused by him, but not fair, you know? And I think what I loved about the whole story of rage is that cannabis helped me channel my emotions and turn it into art.
Love
and
that.
Turn that story into something that can inspire people, that people can see that you can take your emotions and channel it into art and create something much more beautiful that inspires others. And so that cake turned into this earring collaboration with High on Plants.
Amazing.
And so if you put it under black light, it actually glows.
Love
and
that.
it's really cool. But wearing the earrings is just kind of representative of showing that, you know, the power of cannabis and how we can use it to like regulate our emotions and ourselves and choose how we want to move forward.
I love that. So it's evolved from rage to joy, correct?
Yeah. So what was it, 3 years ago? 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, I was invited to host a rage brunch.
Okay.
With a bunch of women. So
I'm in. Can I scream there?
We did.
Okay.
I tried to do a primal scream, but but I was invited to host a rage brunch at the Candace Boss Babes like content house that she was doing.
Amazing.
So she had Ishka Hillman had invited a whole bunch of different cannabis content creators to come stay at this really cool house in Long Beach. And I hosted a rage brunch for them. So I showed them how to decorate their own rage cakes. Everybody got to decorate cakes and splatter paint and make their own. And THC Design was there. Sabrina was there helping out. And you guys were sponsoring with all the flour. And I remember we were smoking the XJ and some of the block party. And it was just so much fun. So I was telling the story and people were I was inviting them to channel something that they had rage about and to like put that into their cake. And High on Plants was there. And so we did these rage photo shoots in black light with these women wearing the rage earrings. And it was really cool. Like the fun thing about the photo shoot was when we were asking people to channel their rage, it was just so much fun.
Yeah, I love that.
There was no rage. And even in my storytelling and like retelling the story of my rage cake and my ex and this horrible breakup, like after that moment, like all the rage is gone. Like I have no rage left for that situation and in that story, and all that's replaced is joy, because seeing all of the women wearing these earrings and just like turning that into this beautiful story. So these are the new iteration, and these just launched, and they'll be available for 420. So these are joy. These are like a black background because it's a good reminder that like when things are hard and really shitty, all we can do is just splatter color all over everything and have fun and find joy in ourselves and with others. And like the black is what provides that contrast, because without the darkness, there isn't this contrast of joy. So yeah, these are the new ones.
Amazing.
And these also glow in the dark.
I love that. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
Sabrina, you were at the event.
I was at the event.
How'd you like it?
It was really fun. I think the photo shoot was especially fun because, like you said, like kind of channeling that rage into art, and like the girls really experimented with the colors, and like I did like, we can insert a photo, but I did like tears, and it looked really cool against the rage earrings as well.
Yeah,
So-
we had like the black light, like makeup, like pens, and so people could like draw. We had like black art makeup done, and I loved your expression was rage was so beautiful. It's one of my
Thank
favorite
you.
portraits because it was tears, like these beautiful like neon tears coming down, and it's like rage looks different. Expressed as an emotion. It's not always an angry outburst. It can also be extreme sadness. There's several
Exactly.
people that had channeled tears as well.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was so fun, and all the girls loved it. And your story for just the rage cake in general, everyone loved it and related to it. So I liked it.
Cool, thank you.
I love that. I want the invite to the next one. I'm coming and
Yeah.
raging.
Yeah,
I'll
you
rage
splatter
cage.
paint.
I'll rage cage the whole thing.
Well, now it's joy.
Oh, there's only joy events? Where am I supposed to put all this rage? I think there's a lot of women in this country that have a need for a rage cake. So
Yeah.
well, how do you start the rage cake off?
I mean, it's a splatter paint. Both of these are splatter paint. It's such a good physical release. You know, you can splatter and get out rage, but then turn on some good music, and then suddenly you feel it turning into joy. And honestly, getting some friends to do it with you.
Yeah. Community.
Yeah, I did that with one of my friends who was struggling with grief, and I took her to a rage room. It's like these rooms in downtown LA where like they're filled with breakable things, and like you pay by the hour that you can just smash everything in this room.
Yes.
And I went with her, and it was, you know, it was grief and rage, and then also joy and laughter at the same time.
Love that. We do suggest that you let your rage out here at THC Design.
Responsibly.
Responsibly. Yes. And artfully, ideally.
Artfully. I love that.
Yes. It feels very 420 to have this transformation from rage to joy, right? There's a lot
feels
going on in
really
this world,
needed.
but 420, we need it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, the joy earring collab has been like a couple years in the making, and it took so long because it just never felt right.
Yeah.
We came up with it, I think, was it fall 2024, like at that event, we're like, yeah, we're going to do this. And it just never felt right. I think it was hard because it was so hard to feel joy. Like after the fires in LA, after the election results, after the fire in LA, after all of these things, all of the ice rate, it's just one thing after the other. And it's really hard to feel joy when you're in despair and to communicate the story. But I feel right now it's needed more than ever because getting lost in despair and sadness and rage and anger is not productive. Like we need joy and joyful rebellion to like get ourselves through.
You know? And it's an everyday act. You can see strangers everywhere and just be like, nice to them and be stony and sweet. And it helps.
Yeah, I bud tend, I see so many people coming in with so much anxiety and stress, and it's like laughter and joy and community. And like, honestly, smoking weed just for joy is such medicine right now.
I love that. Happy. I love that. I want to be happy.
Yeah.
All
What
the
do we
time.
got? I know. What do we got? Do we have happy?
Yo, we got happiness
happy
for
herb?
you. We got happiness ready for you. Cool. So you've built this whole ecosystem around food, cannabis, and culture. How do you describe what you do today?
Oh, I just follow my whimsy. I'm going to be real. I just follow my whimsy at this point. I think, I started off doing public relations and marketing and branding and social digital and all the things. And then I started writing more. I started being a content creator. I was a baked baker. I actually find myself baking less. I enjoy baking, but I find myself in the garden growing a lot these days. So I'm gardening, I'm writing a lot more, I'm doing more hosting and gathering. So it's all around food.
Yeah.
It's still making things and doing things, but
I love that.
yeah,
Love
the
yours.
storytelling and gathering at the center of the table is the most important part. So my work really centers around that intersection of where culinary meets cannabis and these really unexpected ways to help show people a different way to enjoy and consume cannabis that feels really familiar and not bad and not scary.
What's your favorite event you've thrown recently?
Well, that's like asking me to choose between favorite children. You can't do that.
What's your top 8 last events you threw?
Ooh, okay, the top event I threw, I would have to say the Blue Dream tasting party was amazing. So imagine, like, you know, when you go to a food and wine tasting festival and you get little bites of food, you get little sips of wine, you get to meet the winemakers and chefs.
Yeah.
So we hosted something like that, and it was tasting all different strains of Blue Dream. So I had 12 different farms with 12 different Blue Dreams, and people could go around and smell and sample and taste all of the different ones to find the Blue Dream of their like nostalgia.
Wow.
And then it was over at Chef Wendy Zhang's house, my friend that I co-host a lot of events with, and I co-host Mogu Magu with. And she came up with this beautiful like Blue Dream tasting menus. They're like little canapes and bites that were inspired by the terpenes and the flavor profile of Blue Dream.
Wow.
So she had like a blueberry miso cod. There was like a lavender croissant whipped ricotta honey brulee. And it was just so nice. There was a bluegrass band. Everyone brought blue.
Wow.
It was very on
Very
theme.
blue, very
Yeah,
blue.
people got like free Blue Dream seeds to try to grow at home. It was one of my favorites just because it's something that people haven't seen before. And when I was attending, I would just hear so many people, they're like, oh, I love Blue Dream. I remember this. It just has such a beautiful lore and a story. And people have a hard time finding this Blue Dream of the memory. So I was like, let's line it up. I like noticed all of these different farmers were growing it last year. And I was like, let's line them up and let's smell all of them so you can really find like which one speaks to you. Which one's the original cut of Blue Dream?
Wow. Yeah, you seem to have a nose for this sort of thing, right?
I try.
Well, you've been a judge for the Emerald Cup.
Yes.
California Cannabis Awards.
Yes, for the California State Fair, the Emerald Cup, MJ Bowl.
Tell us what you're looking for when you're judging edibles.
I look for innovation.
Okay.
Yeah, and something interesting, something unique. I don't want to see another distillate gummy made with corn syrup.
No one does.
Like that's not that we've seen that. And even though that might be the best seller, I want to see something that is unique and different, whether it's a form factor, whether it's different ingredients you're putting into it, whether it's a taste or a flavor. So something that like really stands out.
I love that. What separates a good edible from a great one?
A great one really honors the plant.
Okay.
It honors the farm, the people who grew it, the specific cultivar, and really takes the intention and thought to pair the flavor with the flavor profile of that particular cultivar that's being used. My favorite ones are strain specific, like the live rosin strain specific, flavored with nothing other than like ice water hash or live rosin, just because I feel that is the closest to the purity of the plant in edible form.
Amazing.
Yeah. Those are really hard to make. I mean, and it also requires a certain palate. Like you have to kind of like that natural taste of weed. Like not like herby, gross, like the brownie you ate, some hash brownie somewhere.
We'll get to bad brownies. We'll get to bad brownies in a second. We've all been there.
Is there ever a bad brownie though?
Well,
I don't think there is.
I mean, like poorly dosed.
Yes. That's
And then
not bad. It still tastes good.
You're like, that's true. That's true. You really, even a burnt brownie is like, this is good.
Yeah, it's still good.
Yeah, no one's mad at it.
The crispy edges.
Yeah, amazing. Can you explain Mogu Magu and what you're building there?
Yes, Mogu Magu. It started off as an AAPI culture, food, and cannabis collective that I co-host with Chef Wendy Zhang. And it started off, we just started gathering a lot of the different AAPIs in the industry and who are doing cool things, and just to meet each other.
Yep.
And then Wendy and I would hang out and we would get high and we would cook and eat and just talk about whatever is going on. And so much healing happened there. And so we thought, we're like, wow, how do we extend this to more people? And so we started celebrating our cultural holidays and inviting in more people, and then getting curious and being like, wait, like I would like to learn more about other AAPI cultures and holidays other than my own, because I only know my very limited, family experience ones. So we started inviting in other friends and other collaborators to share their cultural holidays and traditions. And in that way, we got to learn. And so it's really evolved into this place of celebrating the Asian immigrant diaspora and the intersectionality that we sit in, being a part of two worlds. One of my other favorite events that we're also repeating and hosting for 420 this year is called Bad Asians. And it's this feeling that we are bad Asians, right? I'm a bad Asian because I'm not very good at speaking Chinese. I don't know my cultural holidays. I don't really know I'm not very good at cooking, list all of the reasons. I didn't become a doctor, lawyer,
it's
engineer.
a guilt cake.
I spoke shame, guilt, all of the things. And I think once we started hanging out with other like bad Asians, we're like, oh, we're not actually bad. We're pretty good. We're actually kind of awesome in a lot of ways. And really like healing from our own internalized like shame and guilt and recognizing our intergenerational traumas was so powerful. So that's what Mogu Magu's really been about, but it's inspired by the Taoist hemp goddess of longevity, Magu.
Okay.
So she's a super cool, fascinating character in Taoism that her story's been very much erased. So it was erased during history, during the Cultural Revolution, and she is a independent Taoist immortal deity. She earned her immortality because she is a healer
Love her.
Yeah, she's a healer of women. She lives on Mount Tai and forages for hemp and flowers and fungus to then brew the elixir of life in the celestial kitchens. And then she is invited down and comes down to host longevity banquets with other immortals and scholars who wrote about her stories and tales. And Wendy and I just became really curious, and we did a whole deep dive with our friend and looked at, how is Magu depicted in ancient art and art history? And what we realized was many of these stories that were written about her by male scholars, the scrolls, the paintings, the ceramics, everything is generally made by men. And so the story was from a male scholar perspective, but we just found so much inspiration from her because unlike many of the other deities and characters that we've been taught to idolize and tell these stories about, she is not here to sacrifice herself for the good of China, for the good of a man. She does not here for her husband. She doesn't live for that. She's here to protect women and children. And so her connection with hemp, because it was used as a fabric, it was used for medicine, has really been erased. And so now her story is like, oh, Magu wishes you birthday blessings because it's about wishing you a long life. But we skip over the part was like, well, how does she do that to help people achieve a long life? What are the things? And so we've really started telling those stories more through Mogu Magu and seeing her as somebody that we can kind of explore our own identities with. When we look around and think about the qualities of Magu, we see it in ourselves, we see it in others, other women, really amazing women doing things for their communities. So we think about, how can we channel our inner Magu to be protectors of women, to use this plant in like healing ways, to like give back and change the narrative and change the story, because there's just been so much stigma, there's been so much propaganda that, in China and Asia, it's still very stigmatized,
very illegal,
very unsafe. And yet it's something that has been a part of our culture and our medicinal history and written about in the traditional Chinese medicine pharmacopoeia, but we can't talk about it.
Yeah. Have you been to a Mogu Mogu event?
I have been to a Mogu Mogu event. I went last July, I think. It was so fun, so beautiful. You had like fashion there, you had art there, you had food there. That was beautiful. And the nails too. You had a nail girl that was so cute.
Yes,
I loved
that was
it.
a goddess garden party. So that was a event that we hosted as Mogu Magu. So we did this cool photo shoot. So when we looked at the photos of Magu and the images of her, and a lot of the paintings were always like scholars, imbibing in the garden with women serving them or playing music and entertaining. And we wanted to flip that trope on its head. So we imagined it as Magus in the garden and what that would look like. And so the event that you came to, the Goddess Garden Party, was with a brand called Da Wong, because her clothes are just so beautiful. And so we invited women to come into the garden like as their internal Magus and come celebrate and meet each other.
It was great. Yeah. And then I guess being Filipino American, I know the stigma like surrounding cannabis in the Asian community. How have you, beyond Mogu Magu, how have you navigated this barrier or tried to like break it?
I think it's about creating content. That's why Mogu Magu exists. It's having a safe place where people can feel free to be themselves and talk to other people, other women who feel the same, to be able to imbibe and consume and play, not feel like they have to hide this part of themselves. It's so freeing. So I think from that, Wendy and I have committed to doing more content, more storytelling. So this year we're working on a food travel docuseries.
I love that.
That is it's gonna be so fun. So it's about cannabis, but really it's more about food and travel. And it's us doing a road trip from Los Angeles up to Humboldt, and it's called In Search of Magu. So it starts in Wendy's garden. And we go we take this road trip all the way up the coast of California, up into the mountains of Humboldt in search of our modern Magu. And we visit different sun-grown craft cannabis farms along the way, and we share about their different growing and cultivation techniques and their perspectives and point of view. So it's really showing people this side of cannabis while telling the story of Magu and through our food and the meals that we cooked at each of the farms along the way. But I think for people to see, again, cannabis in this way, to see that, oh, look, there's Asian women consuming cannabis and growing cannabis and hosting it in this way that's like, oh, that feels familiar. That doesn't look like a scary drug. It's shifting what content and what the narrative of culture looks like.
I think your narrative for bad Asians, like just the whole being a bad Asian kind of ties in with that. And like cannabis, I feel like even my mom, she's like, you work in cannabis, and it's very stigmatized. So it's cool that you're changing kind of that image of it.
How do you navigate it? How does your mom think about it?
I have tried to get her to see it more as like medicinal, more as it's a plant. The plant it makes you happy, you know? And she's tried it a few times, so she's seen that for herself. But she definitely wasn't open to it at first and she doesn't tell the family about it, you know? So it's like
getting high on the low.
I know. I taught her how to roll. Like we were rolling lumpia the other day, and then she taught me how to roll lumpia. I taught her how to roll a joint. So she's definitely getting more open to it. And I think that's what it's all about. Just kind of preaching like the real message behind the plant, you know? Breaking that stigma.
Oh, that's so sweet. My mom, because I was working for a topical company, they're like, okay, well, at least it's going on your skin. You're not smoking it. And then I was like, okay, well, at least you're making edibles and you're not smoking it. I obviously smoke a lot. My mom definitely subscribes to my Substack newsletter, so she can see me smoking. But I think leading from the medicinal part was a really great start to be able to have that conversation. And also, I gifted my mom a little seedling to grow her own plant. And I noticed that's been a really great introduction because so many people have never touched or seen a plant. And once you hand it to, and the first time I gave my mom this little seedling, like she was just like, it was like I gave her something that like a snapping turtle or something. Like she was just like afraid to touch it, wouldn't even look at it.
Yeah, the government's going to like surround her with helicopters.
Well, that was the question. It was really fascinating. You know, they're like, oh, well, what if the neighbors smell it? And I was like,
it has
okay,
no
so the neighbors smell it.
It's like big.
Well, also, I think it smells nice. It's just a flower. Like, what will it happen when it flowers? I was like, I'll let you know then if you get that far.
Yeah, let's see you get there that far.
So it was really fascinating to kind of go through all of their worries with them. And then they grew the plant. So the first year they didn't do so well. And then I gave them another plant last year and then like did a little bit better. But that time she immediately took it out of my hands. She was happy to like put it in the dirt. She wasn't afraid to touch it anymore. But I think it's like seeing and touching a plant and watching it grow and seeing that it's not some horrible evil, like is so powerful. And so I've also been doing a lot of backyard gardening classes where I teach basically like home gardeners, people who go to plant shops and grow vegetables and buy things like that for their garden and teach them how to grow. Because here in LA, we have the perfect weather. If you have the space, if you've got a patio, a garden, a balcony, like grow a plant.
Amazing. And that brings a lot of community together, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's huge right now. We want to touch grass.
People do want to touch grass, smoke grass, roll grass. Yeah, I host something called Weed Underground, and it really started as it's a meetup group for people who smoke weed, who like to grow weed and want to meet other people in the neighborhood who do the same thing.
Amazing.
And it's been so cute. It's one of the most wholesome, wonderful things I get to do. And it's just a very basic email list and Discord channel.
Love that.
And then we host like quarterly meetups and then do seed swaps. I just taught people how to make, we did big batch of topicals. And then
Nice.
I'll invite Compassion members to come in and like be able to like get some extra product, because
that.
if you're somebody who grows at home, we have so much excess.
Yes.
So it's nice to be able to find people who really need it and we can share it with.
Love that.
And teaching each other skills to
Yep.
make our own medicine at home is so powerful. So that's me channeling my inner Magu to like forage and grow medicine and show people how to make it.
Love the energy, Christina.
Thanks.
Love it. Love it.
Do you grow?
I wish.
Do you have a garden?
I'm like a little bit, I can handle like, you know what I'm really good with is money trees.
Oh, yeah, that means you got lots of money, right? If you can grow lots of money trees.
Yeah, that's the one thing, because you only have to soak it once a month. It's not, I feel like weed is really, really sensitive. And I'm really sensitive, right? How often
It's
do you?
pretty easy. It's
Okay.
called weed for a reason.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, true.
I have like 3 plants right now that just grew themselves in the garden.
Grew themselves?
I made some seed bombs and I just threw shit all over the place
Okay.
before it rained. And they're mostly wildflowers mixed in with like CBD seeds. And so some just kind of volunteered and grew over the winter. I didn't do anything. I left them alone. They've been
Okay.
completely neglected. They don't look great. They're not perfect.
Okay.
But they're alive. They got trichomes.
Hard
Yeah.
same on that one.
They'll smoke.
I love it. It's beautiful. What does a good cannabis community actually look like?
I think it's not even just cannabis, community, period.
Yeah.
I think good community requires people who want to communicate, who are willing to do repair, to want to work through all of the hard things. I think just having a common interest is not simply a community. You know, that's a meetup group, it's an interest group, it's a social club. But real community means really like supporting each other, showing up for each other. That's hard. We kind of forgot how to do that. So I'm still trying to figure that out too.
Hard same.
Why do you feel like people are craving community more than ever? I know you mentioned the pandemic, but yeah.
I feel so isolated, so lonely. I think we're scared. I am. I don't know if you guys feel like this. Like, this is fucked up. There's a lot of fucked up shit happening in the world. And I don't know. I love social media because it connects me with so many people, but it's just such a bubble. And I think that we have, that's what I was saying. We've forgotten how to really have discourse with each other, how to disagree and understand and be able to hold multiple truths and understand that we all have multitudes.
Yes.
And so one of the things we're doing to try to help exercise this skill of discourse. So this year's Bad Asians event that we're hosting for 420 weekend on April 18th is a stoned philosophy club.
Oh my gosh.
I'm excited.
Yep.
Wow.
So we're going to get hella high. We're going to make wontons.
What are example topics for that?
I don't know yet. We're still working on it. I'm not sure. There's a lot of things that get tossed around. So it's up to my collaborators. So this is a collaboration between myself and Chef Wendy as Mogu Magu. Our friend Grace K-Town, who is an amazing DJ, who's going to do we have a mixtape and a little garlic nudes and booty shaking towards the end part of the program.
Garlic nudes and booty shaking. I'm open.
Yeah. And then the Stone Philosophy Salon will be led by Roxanne Roncal. So
Amazing.
her brand is called, or her Instagram is Substance.
Okay.
Last year, she hosted an art gallery, like an art show and philosophy salon. So this year is going to be Stoned Philosophy.
I love it.
And I think some of the topics might be honestly around a lot of third culture topics,
Okay.
guilt, shame, intergenerational trauma, our internalized trauma from work. That was something that came up a lot as we went to this Big Bear we went to a cabin in Big Bear to do a creative retreat to like plan this. And what came out of it was we realized it was just like, wow, like the way that we have learned to work and to react as a result of managing things doesn't have to be that way. And it was really freeing to work together as women in a different way. So I think a lot of those topics might come up. We'll see. You'll just have to come to find out.
Yeah, you seem really in flow, Christina. I'm like trying to hang out a little bit.
Yeah, come hang.
Yeah. Okay, Christina, let's talk 420. But less about cooking and more about hosting. What are 3 ways people can elevate their 420 this year?
Just get something fun you like to do, a handful of friends, and learn a little bit something about cannabis history.
Oh, like what?
The origins of cannabis. Did you know that they started in ancient Asia?
Okay.
Could learn about how medical cannabis helped pass legal recreational cannabis, and Brownie Mary and Dennis Perone and all the people who helped get this passed.
What are two other things for 420?
Two other things. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. You can go crafting. You just find something to do. Something fun. You could do painting, a puff puff paint.
Okay.
You can go hiking, like grab a friend, grab something nice, and go outside. Touch grass.
Go outside.
Touch grass, smoke grass.
Touch grass, smoke grass.
And how do you make it feel intentional? So less like a hangout or a sesh.
I try to assign like a theme to something so that there's like a topic of conversation or something so that it is more intentional and people know what the assignment is when they're coming.
If someone wants to host their own cannabis gathering, where do they start?
Gather a few friends, ask everyone to bring something to share, and enjoy. That's it. It's so simple. It doesn't even have to be so complicated. My favorite events are when I ask people like, all right, everybody bring something to share. Here's the theme. And everyone surprisingly shows up on point.
I love that.
And how do people like connect at these things? How do you get people to connect with each other?
I mean, it's the role of the host as well to introduce and facilitate. So curating and inviting like the right people you want to meet who should be there is really important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, again, like having that theme is really nice because then people know what to ask. I hate going to events where, I don't know what to do. I'm just like standing there awkwardly waiting to get high, trying to get high. But if there's something to do, like a craft or an activity or a prompt, it offers like a reason or something that I'm going to reach out or ask somebody.
For sure. It keeps them there too, having those activations. Yeah, that makes sense.
What does your 420 event look like this year?
All right. This year, it's going to be Bad Asians Stoned Philosophy Club.
Wow.
And it's going to be a wonton making workshop. So we'll get to learn how to make wontons and learn about the history of wontons and like what they mean. And then we're going to have a stone philosophy salon. So we're going to make critical thinking sexy, practice our critical thinking, our dialogue. And then there's going to be some garlic nudes and booty shaking.
Garlic nudes and booty shaking.
Yeah.
At the event?
Yeah.
Wow. I want to come.
You should come.
I want to eat garlic noodles.
It's going to be so fun.
Wow. That sounds so much fun.
Yeah, all the buddies are going to come and it's like very potluck style. Everyone's bringing a little something to share.
Amazing. What makes people actually connect at these things?
I think like the shared commonality. People like to feel like they're around other people who understand them, who get them. And so for us, our Bad Asian event is, you don't have to be Asian to pull up, but it's more of like we are exploring our Asian immigrant diaspora. And when other people feel like that's something that they're also curious about or want to learn about, or that they identify also in the same themes that we're exploring, that's what makes people want to come and gather and talk and like share these experiences and have a shared experience.
Amazing. If someone wants to incorporate infused elements into their 420, what's the easiest way to do it?
Tinctures. For every beginner, if you don't know how to dose, I definitely recommend getting a tincture. If you go purchase one at a dispensary, they're already dosed, so you know exactly how much oil and how much THC is going to be in the dropper. And if you just add that oil to anything you're making, it becomes an edible.
Anything can be an edible.
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't have to infuse your own butter. You don't have to do the whole mess. It's like tincture, boop, boop.
Wow. My soup can be an edible.
It can.
My Gatorade can be an edible.
Yes.
Wow. Makes you think.
I mean, there's a little bit more to it, but it's a good place to start.
My matcha?
Yeah. Do you make your own matcha in the morning?
I want to. I want to get into that.
So if you're frothing your milk, I would add like a drop of tincture to the milk and like let that froth and then put that in your matcha and that's it.
Wow. Elevated.
Yeah, it's so easy.
I love that. How do you keep everyone in a good place so you're not dosing too high or too low?
I usually like to not put too many edibles out. And if they are edibles, they're very clearly labeled and low dose or CBD.
Mark that.
Yeah, high dose edibles at an event is just asking for danger. So we usually try to keep it light and optional dosing. So usually there's like a sauce or a side or a beverage that's clearly labeled that somebody can opt in. And if someone doesn't want to consume, that's totally fine. I like pairing smoking with food because you can kind of control your elevation a little bit more and you can decide and choose how much you want. So a lot of times it's not really about infusing the food, it's about pairing the food experience.
That makes sense.
And I've baked edibles a few times, so I know the process can usually be long between like the decarbing, letting the flour simmer for hours. So what are some general tips, I guess, you have for the process that you've learned?
All right, total game changer. Vanessa Livrado's cookbook, How to Eat Weed and Have a Good Time. She actually like sent her testing to a lab. So she did all of like the infusions and all of the techniques and sent them to a lab and has all of the results in her cookbook. And the one thing I learned from her cookbook that was a total game changer, I thought that infusing longer meant you would get stronger oil, right? People are like, oh, you got to infuse for like 3 hours, 4 hours, even longer to get everything. According to science and Vanessa's cookbook, the answer is no. Actually, after like 60 minutes, like the flour has mostly already infused. And so that changed all of it because it would take me so long to make a batch of edibles. And so her cookbook and her tips actually saved me like several hours of the entire infusion experience.
Oh, wow. I never knew that because, I'd be letting it sit for a minute, hours.
And actually, it doesn't taste as good because now you're breaking down all of the plant materials and parts that make it taste more bitter. So really infuse it at about 60 minutes is good.
Okay. The more you know.
Yeah.
Say the name of the book again.
It's by Vanessa Livrado, and it's How to Eat Weed and Have a Good Time.
Shout out, Vanessa. To build out your perfect 420 experience, one food element, one vibe, one strain.
I mean, I feel like that's what I'm doing at the Bad Asians.
Love it.
Yeah, making wontons, making critical thinking sexy again. And we're going to be enjoying Rainbow Breeze and Tuscan Gelato from Moonmade Farms.
Wow.
Because that's what we were harvesting. That's what we were smoking and consuming. So we were all met at Moonmade Farms during her harvest retreat. And so we were all in the fields harvesting Rainbow Breeze.
Wow.
And so that was where the idea of the Bad Asians Stoned Philosophy Club collab started. And then as we were planning the event, we were smoking the Rainbow Breeze rosin that was made from the plants that we had harvested. And so we're going to bring that to our event. And so people will be able to experience the Rainbow Breeze that we all harvested together and smoke Tuscan Gelato, which is one of our favorite strains and what really inspired the whole idea.
I love that. Well, I must say THC Design wants to throw a strain in there, but I have to make you guess which one it is.
Okay.
It's our new strain for 420. Here's the guessing game. You have 3 clues. First clue. And Christina, you are officially the person revealing the new THC Design strain.
Okay, how exciting.
It's a classic. Clue 1. People have been asking for it back.
Clue 2. For years, this strain has been ranked among the most searched and most purchased strains in dispensaries across the U.S., so it's basically a household name in cannabis.
Clue 3. Fruity, nostalgic, dreamy. Dreamy. It actually smells like It's Cross.
Wait, read that again.
Fruity, nostalgic, dreamy. It actually smells like It's Cross.
Blue Dream?
Oh, yeah! First guess.
I did not even, when I said it earlier, I did not even know.
Yes, we are THC Designers premiering Blue Dream.
That's so exciting.
Yes, we are so excited. Classic strain, and we're going to do it super well. So I'd love to donate some Blue Dream to the Bad Asians 420 experience.
Yo, let's bring back the Blue Dream tasting party.
That sounded so fun.
Oh, with the bluegrass band and everything?
I know. I'm trying to think if I could get a tambourine going for that.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let them know I'm coming.
Okay.
Okay. I'll wear a blue suit. I'm around.
Yeah, jam band.
Yeah, 100%. We jam band with a Blue Dream event at Bad Asians. That sounds so fun.
What a mashup.
When I first moved to California, jam bands, I couldn't do it. Because I'm East Coast rigid, cynical, but I've relaxed.
Is that Fish?
Yeah, Fish, Grateful Dead, that sort of thing. But now I get it. Hand me a drum and a joint.
tambourine.
Yeah, I guess I'm like more of like a triangle
Yeah.
tambourine gal. You're right.
I like the jar with coffee beans.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I like to make my own instruments.
Oh.
Anything's an instrument.
Christina, you're so profound. Like, not to gas you up, but like, it's like, okay, we get it. You're the creative, but like also hang out with me a lot. Okay.
Congratulations on the Blue Dream launch.
Yay, we're so excited.
What a
so
great
exciting.
strain. When I bud tend over at Cornerstone Wellness, and that is one of the most requested strains for sure.
Really?
People love it. Like the stories and the nostalgia.
fun. So
how
fun.
exciting that you're launching it.
Where do you see cannabis culture going next?
I think it's up to us to create it. It hasn't, like what has been shown has gotten us this far, but it's really up to us to, and I would love to see more feminine storytelling, more women cannabis culture.
Yes.
That's what I want to see more of. And that's where I'd like to see us moving the cannabis culture moving forward into.
Heck yeah. Do you think it becomes more experiential?
Absolutely. I think we're craving that more. We've become so in this digital world, and being experiential, really understanding and having depth with our experiences, our high, and getting to know the plant is going to be even more important.
I love that.
Like I love going to visit farms and visiting grows and seeing and like really understanding like how this plant is such magic.
You have to come up to the THC Design Grow in Santa Rosa.
I would love to.
Please do. Put on my little tour guide hat.
Will you give me a tour?
Yes. And we'll go through into every room. We'll go like this.
Can you walk backwards at this and give a tour at the same time?
Yes, 100%. Allow me.
I was a college tour guide at on campus.
You be knowing stuff, Christina. Man, you're on it. You're like, I'll give you a tour, girlfriend.
Very good at the backwards walking and talking.
I'll take you into the blueberry sugar room, the tangy frosting room,
There's a blueberry sugar room.
the 24K room.
I feel like Violet Beauregard.
Ooh, yes. You go in and you get huge, and then we roll you out of the grow.
Turn into a big purple blueberry. Roll me in sugar.
Yeah, that's actually part of it.
But is the sugar keef?
Yes.
That would be amazing.
I'll roll you through a keef pile on your way out the door. If that moves you. Yeah, it's actually like a Willy Wonka experience, but purple. Ooh. Yeah.
Ooh, I can't wait to see it. Thank you for inviting me. I'll be there. How about next week?
Yeah, sounds good. See you there. After 420, I want you to like have your event.
Okay.
Have a nice time. And then we'll get to the new calendar year, the new cannabis calendar year after 420. That begins.
Is 420 the beginning or the end?
421 is like Happy New Year, So once you can refresh your calendar. All right, quick hits. Ready? Favorite type of cannabis gathering?
Small, chill, intimate, deep conversations.
Okay, and now fave 420 Fit.
Oh my God, I just purchased it. Are you guys excited? I got it from Smoke Show, and it's a big, long purple duster.
Yes.
It's purple? Uh-huh. Oh, I want to see
It's
it.
like a brocade purple duster.
How
Perfect for stone
pretty.
philosophy.
Wow.
Love that.
Wow. Please post.
I don't know what the accessories will be yet, though.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe one of the, which one? This one?
The white,
The white ones?
the rage.
Okay.
Yeah. Best strain for hosting?
Ooh, a Blue Dream. Blue Dream's perfect for almost everyone. Honestly, when people don't know, it's perfectly categorized in the middle. Some people call it a sativa, but it's calming, it's chatty and social and relaxing. And most people don't experience anxiety and paranoia on it, which is great.
Love that.
And what is one thing every host should have?
A lot of water. Yeah.
Crucial.
Cold water, snacks, needs to be food.
Snacks.
Yeah, snacks and food always.
There needs to be infinitely more water at cannabis events. It
A
is
cold
uncanny.
towel. Also, if you've ever overconsumed at an event, like a nice icy cold towel does wonders. Brings you right back.
Ooh, fresh towels. Elevated. I like that. Dream 420 blunt rotation.
My parents.
Go on.
It's my dream because I feel like it will never happen. Whereas in real life, like the things I haven't even dreamed of happen. But I feel like it would be so healing for them to just experience letting go of their like anxiety. Just like experience this for a moment and have a deep conversation and like dig into your own shit. Wow. You will be changed. And I hope one day I can sit at a table with them and actually talk to them about stuff like at that level.
Stoned. Yeah. I have great conversations with my stepmom when we're stoned together. we can really like connect. There's a lot less anxiety.
I have a great conversation with my mother when I'm stoned,
Yes.
but she's not stoned.
Yeah, but once if she got there,
Like I have to be stoned to handle the conversation, but I feel like if she was there too, like it would go really well.
yeah. Boomeranxiety.com.
And then one experience that you want to create next.
I'm trying to host a welcome dinner in Berlin for Mary Jane Berlin.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be a whole different challenge because it's going to go sourcing ingredients and cannabis and different things in Germany, which I haven't done before. So
That's fun. Sounds like it has a lot of elements to it.
yeah, there's a lot of like travel, there's food, and then of course Mary Jane Berlin's one of the largest cannabis conferences in the world. So also I just want to get paid to go travel
100%.
and host and do fun, cool things.
That's so fun. Bring a little California flair to Berlin.
Yeah, a little California craft, our unique point of view.
Love that. I can see a linen tablecloth already.
No linen.
You're not bringing linens?
No linens.
What are you going to bring, that smoke show outfit? What are you going to wear?
Oh, I don't know.
If you're repping California, what are you going to wear? What are you going to bring?
Oh, maybe that's a good idea. You know what? Oh, I have the coolest Blue Dream jumpsuit.
Okay.
It's like a one-piece jumpsuit. It was from her like Blue Dream capsule collection, and only one was made, and it's my favorite outfit. Maybe I'll wear that.
One of one. Christina, don't drop a one of one fit on me after I complimented you like that. You're too cool for this
You could
podcast.
ask her to make one.
Yeah. Okay.
Another one.
Okay.
You could do, oh my gosh, you could do like a THC. You should do a purple fit with them. That'd be so cool.
Connect us.
Okay.
I'm trying to do a little modeling, you know? I'm kidding. I am not a model.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. I appreciate I needed that at that moment.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You know?
We're
When you
all
say things like-
models.
we're all models.
We all exist in the world to show off something
For sure.
in some way,
Certainly.
whether we want to or not.
We're all modeling something. We're not sure what it is, but we're here.
Positive, non-toxic behaviors.
Some days.
Yeah. Sometimes the other way.
Some days not so much. And that's okay. But you should smoke weed about it.
It's true. Yeah, it helps.
Amazing. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Fruit and Flower on Instagram, and I write a Substack newsletter and host a podcast at fruitandflower.substack.com.
Subscribe on Substack to Christina.
Yeah.
I love it. This has been THC Design Sessions episode 2, 420 special.
Send to whoever is hosting.
Or whoever should be.
Exactly.
We'll see you next time.
Yay!